Brotherhood reiterated the group's stance in the Egyptian protests. A spokesman said the Muslim Brotherhood will not field a presidential candidate in the next elections. These declarations, though, are not allaying fears among some about what the group's influence would be after Mubarak is gone. I want to give you a quick primer on the group. The Muslim Brotherhood is the largest opposition movement in Egypt. It's been active for more than 80 years. Its purpose is religious and political. The cornerstone is the belief that Islam is more than a religion. It's a way of life and should have a role in political life. Because of its religious agenda, members were banned from running for the presidency, but Muslim Brotherhood candidates ran as independents and won 88 of 444 parliament seats back in 2005. One final point, the Muslim Brotherhood officially rejects violence, but some critics say the group could just be biding time, waiting for power, and then that anti-violence stance may change. I spoke earlier with two different people on different sides of this. Ayaan Hirsi Ali is author of Nomad, founder of the AHA Foundation, set up to protect the rights of women in the West against radical Islam. I also spoke with CNN national security analyst Peter Bergen, author of The Longest War. Ayaan, when you were younger, you were actually a member of the Muslim Brotherhood when you were living in Kenya. Why are you so concerned about the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt and the chances of them coming to power?
Because as a 15-year-old, 16, 17-year-old, what the strong members of the Muslim Brotherhood who educated me, what they taught me was for us to strive toward a society governed by Sharia law or Islamic law. And it wasn't only for us living in Kenya. They intended it for everyone all over the world.
So when people say, well, look, the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt has renounced violence and has worked peacefully for many years now.
Well, whether they work with violence or peacefully, they're working toward the goal of establishing Islamic law.
Peter, are you as concerned about the Muslim Brotherhood, A, in general, and B, in Egypt getting into power?
Not really on either front, Anderson. First of all, as you know, you visited there recently. The Muslim Brotherhood is engaged in conventional politics in Egypt for a long time now. Secondly, there's no chance of them getting to run Egypt because the kind of level of support they have is simply not enough to take the country over. And we saw that this revolution was that they basically kind of got on to the revolution rather late in the game. So they will be a player, but they won't be the player in Egypt going forward.
Do you have any doubt, though, that the Muslim Brotherhood wants, I mean, they are Islamists. They would like an Islamic state, no?
Sure. I mean, and as you well know, Anderson, and as Ms. Ali also knows, I mean, you ask most Muslims, do you want Sharia law? And they will say yes, because it means a lot of different things to different people.
It doesn't mean a lot of different things to different people. As a young child growing up with Islam, me and all the other Muslims I know were taught two main lessons. Everything in the Quran is the true word of God. Everything that the Prophet Muhammad did is right and just, and we have to follow in his example.
So what is it you're arguing for? I mean, clearly, I understand concerns about the Muslim Brotherhood. Mm-hmm. I understand, if you are a woman, if you are a member of a minority, there are many reasons why one would not want the Muslim Brotherhood if you don't want to live under Sharia to take power. What is the alternative? If they do represent right now 20 to 30%, you can't close off that voice in a democratic Egypt. You're arguing what? For building up other institutions, having time so that other institutions can be built up.
Yes, and you've seen in all of these countries, people will say elections, elections, elections. So before an election can take place, you have to campaign. The Muslim Brotherhood has the resources, the infrastructure, both civic and economic, to mobilize huge masses to go and vote for them. Look at the liberal voices. They are not organized. They don't have a common ideology. What I have seen on Tahrir Square and in Tunisia is let the bad guy go out, but that's not enough. That's not a program. And what we need to do is stop worrying about the Muslim Brotherhood. There's going to be, I hope that the Egyptian constitution has to be rewritten in such a way that there are safeguards against a Sharia state and against the next autocracy.
And Peter, that certainly seems, what the United States wants to have happen right now, wants to be able to do, but it also seems like what many opposition figures in Egypt right now are hoping to do. Mohammed al-Baradei, who says, look, Muslim Brotherhood only gets about 20 to 30% of the popular vote right now. He's talking about allowing there to be time, a year, a transitional government that allows other forces, democratic institutions, to be bolstered, supported, and gain support, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we're all in agreement that that is the way forward, but we also have to recognize that democracies are going to throw up people that we don't necessarily agree with. And that's the point of democracy.
But that's a platitude. Of course, that's the point of democracy, but democracy is more than that. The Muslim Brotherhood, an Islamist radical organization that once they get to power is going to violate the rights of women, of homosexuals, of religious minorities. We have to do everything in our power to prevent them from violating those human rights.
Peter, there are people in the audience who will kind of equate Muslim Brotherhood with a group like Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda actually hates the Muslim Brotherhood, from my understanding, correct?
Ayman al-Zawahiri, the number 2 in Al-Qaeda, has written an entire book critiquing the Muslim Brotherhood and is very critical of them for the precise reason that they have engaged in conventional democratic politics, which Al-Qaeda regards as, kind of against Islam. So, there is quite a lot of mutual hostility between these two groups.
But that hostility should not blind us to the shared objectives, the establishment of a society based on Sharia law. Ayaan Hirsi Ali wants to achieve that through violent means. The Muslim Brotherhood's current leadership wants to achieve that through gradual, peaceful means, using and abusing the vocabulary of freedom and democracy.
But you're not arguing this as a reason to keep Mubarak in power.
No.
You're saying this is a reason to bolster democratic institutions in however long it takes in this transitional period.
Yes, I'm frustrated by what I've been reading in the past 3 weeks, which is it's either a Mubarak-type government or it's going to be Sharia law and the Islamic Brotherhood.
That's the narrative that Mubarak has set up. For years, he has said it's either me or chaos. It's either me, stability, or the Muslim Brotherhood.
And what I'm saying is there is a third way. Never limit your options to just 2. If you look at the people on Tahrir Square, there are individuals there who believe in an alternative. What I'm noting is they lack the infrastructure that the Brotherhood has. They lack the power that the Mubarak type of people have, and we need to support them in that way, but it's the right direction.
Ayaan Hirsi Ali, appreciate your time, and Peter Bergen as well. Peter, thank you.